Bowl season is in full force, and we've got 3 more picks for you.
College bowl season is back, and we're back on the Big Mountain, where we bring you a detailed focus on the Big Ten, the Mountain West, and all the bowls.
Hey, it's good to have you here. We have our second pick episode for all the bowls that we're doing. Our first one came out a few days ago for Saturday's games. We're going to do a short one here just for the games during the week, because we're going to be doing a live episode for next weekend's bowl. So we're going to hit the Monday, Tuesday, and I believe it's Thursday bowl here. That's during this week. We gotta get it out here. We gotta make sure you guys know where we're headed with this. So the first one, Monday night, we've got the famous Toastery Bowl, Western Kentucky versus Old Dominion. Western Kentucky coming in at 7-5 on the season. Old Dominion at 6-6. A lot of opt-outs for both teams here. 16 for Western Kentucky, 14 for Old Dominion. And for Western Kentucky, a lot of key players that are sitting out on this. So what do you got here, Steve? What are you thinking?
You know, these bowl games, they're always a crapshoot. You know, you try and look at the opt-outs and whatever, people leaving, people transferring. You just never know how it's going to go. When I look at these two teams, like you mentioned, Western Kentucky has so many of their key players opting out.
Yep.
ODU is a 3.5 point favorite. ODU does have some players transferring, but you know, Ricky Ronnie, he's staying there. A lot of his staff. There's going to be more consistency there. I think they have a lot to look forward to for next year. You know, they're 3.5 point favorites. They're a pretty solid team. They gave some teams some trouble this year. I really thought the line would be higher, so I'm going to go ahead and take ODU to cover 3.5 over Western Kentucky.
And I agree. I mean, they played well against JMU. They played well against Appy State. I know they're sitting 6-6, but they are a solid team. No doubt about it. I think they're bringing more of their team to this game.
Yep.
You know, you've mentioned in our first pick video, you're looking kind of at teams that are trying to build to next year and using the bowl as a bridge and as a, you know, hopefully a positive experience to build into next year. I see that with Old Dominion here. Their passing a game, I think, is going to be effective. So I'm taking what you're taking. I'm taking Old Dominion at 3.5. I like that pick, and I agree. I think the line's a little lower than I thought it might be here. I really like Old Dominion in this game. So let's go to number 2, the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. We've got UTSA versus Marshall. UTSA coming in at 8-4. Marshall at 6-6. Marshall with 18 opt-outs. Obviously UTSA with a few as well, but nothing like 18 from the Marshall side. You know me, I got kind of on the Roadrunners game late in the season. I thought they were a team that could have upset Tulane late in the year, and without all the turnovers, they would have done it. That's going to be my kind of linchpin on this. As long as UTSA doesn't turn the ball over 5 times like they did against Tulane.
In the first half.
Yeah, in the first half. Let's limit turnovers. I think UTSA wins big. I know the line's 11.5 here. I just like where UTSA is headed. Again, I think they're building on to something here. They had a very solid year. They're looking to continue that. They are without their top playmaker more in this game. But I just like UTSA here. Maybe it's a little bit of a, because I was kind of on them at the end of the season. I'd like to see them do well. Marshall doesn't have their QB. Is it Fancher, I believe is his name? He's opted out of this game as well. So the only thing I'll point out, UTSA is 0-4 in bowl games. So they're trying to break that O. But I'm going to pick them here at minus 11.5. I think they roll here through Marshall. I really like the Roadrunners. I love their offense. I think they're good to go. 11.5. UTSA.
Yeah, we're in agreement. You know, when I look at this, anytime you see a big spread like this in a bowl game, gives you a little bit of pause.
Yes.
But then, you know, I just kind of went back to all the things I was thinking throughout the season and kind of looking at where those programs are right now.
Yep.
I just think UTSA over, even if you don't look at the opt-outs, I think they're about at least a two touchdown better team than Marshall.
Yeah.
And both teams had some opt-outs, but it seems like probably it's affecting Marshall a little more.
Yep.
Marshall's kind of just stuck in the mud. They are where they are. It's, you know, they have challenges in that program. UTSA has, you know, the sky is the limit for them. They had a really good season. I see those guys coming in motivated. To me, the 0-5 and 0-6 about, I don't really care about that.
Yeah,
other
it
than
doesn't mean different teams.
The kids on this team, maybe none of them have ever won a bowl game, and they might be excited and motivated.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm taking UTSA to easily cover that 11.5.
I'm with you. And Marshall, honestly, I think 6-6 for me for them is a slightly disappointing season. So do they come in what kind of motivation do they have to come into this game? I'm not really sure, but I think UTSA has every reason to try and pull a big win in this game. So let's go to the last one. I'll let you pick it first. The Boca Raton Bowl, USF versus Syracuse, 2 6-6 teams. What are you thinking?
So this one's kind of hard to get a handle on. Neither one of these teams really is kind of any good.
Yeah.
Both, they became bowl eligible. Great. The line is kind of where you think it would be. Mm-hmm. I think, if I was just looking at roster top to bottom, I would say maybe Syracuse is a slightly better team. Mm-hmm. However, they have so much turmoil and stuff, not necessarily turmoil, but changeover going on there. Yeah. I have no idea how many of those kids are actually going to play.
Right.
So I'm actually taking USF plus the points. I have this as a coin flip game. I have no idea. So I'm just going to take USF plus the points, plus 3 over Syracuse.
I struggled with this one too. I'm everything you just said, I completely agree with. Syracuse with 15 players in the portal that won't be playing. I struggled with this. And it's funny because I came into this, I'm thinking, I'm going to take a lot of underdogs just because you're going to be getting points. Yep. You never know what you get in these bowls. And I'm going to take Syracuse at -3 here, Steve.
Okay.
So I'm 3 for 3 in faves.
Yeah.
I got to go back and think in the first. I think I took 4 out of 6 faves in the first pick. So what would that be? I'd be 7 faves out of 9. That's not what I thought I was going to be doing. So let's see how I end up here early on, and I may shift gears and start taking points with some of these underdogs. But I will say Syracuse has a solid attack. I think they're going to be the healthier team, even though they do have these opt-outs. USF allows a lot of yards against other offenses, and not that Syracuse has anything of a stellar offense. But I'm going to put my money on Syracuse's offense. If you don't like Syracuse's offense, then take Steve's pick with USF. But I'm going to put my money on Syracuse's offense here, and I'm going to take them as the favorite here at -3. To me, that's a little bit safer. I think they'll be able to score points more than USF will. But I'm with you. It's a coin flip. I struggle a little bit. And we've said before, when it's a coin flip, take the points. But I'm going against that strategy. I'm taking -3 Syracuse.
Good chance for us to go head-to-head on one of these because we were in such agreement on the first two. So
that's right. We were separate. That's right. We got to have
the men from the boy.
I'm not going to say anything about that. We'll find out how we end up. So okay. I'm going to let my picks speak for themselves, I hope. So, hey, with that, we want to remind you, really important, live episode Tuesday the 19th at 8 p.m. We're going to get it up. I don't know if we'll exactly go live at 8. We'll try to get on as quick to 8 as close to 8 as we possibly can. That's 8 Eastern. So, Steve, what is that for the Pacific time zone?
I've been studying my time
zones. I know you have.
So if it's 8 Eastern, yes. That means it's 5 p.m. in the Pacific.
You got it. 5 Pacific. It would be 6 Mountain. So I know we've got a lot of subscribers and listeners from the Pacific and Mountain time zone. We'd love to have you on. Hopefully 5 o'clock's not too hard from you. But, put us on your drive home. Throw your phone in the passenger seat. Certainly don't look at it when you're driving. We'd love to have you guys on. We'd love to hear some just chit-chat back and forth. We may have a little giveaway. I'd like to give something out. Anybody that's able to be on that. Got some merch store open now, so we'd like to give you guys something. So, hey, with that, we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Big Mountain.
Giving myself an A+ on time zones this week.
You nailed it.